It's Week 17 of the 2024 season, and we'll see Chris Godwin. He should be one of his quarterback's best friends this week. It's the Dreadnoughts and the River Hogs on Sunday Night Primetime.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to the banks of the Ohio River and the world-renowned city of Louisville, Kentucky. Hi again, everybody. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gautin, joining you as always. And Charles, you check out this Louisville team.
And losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
Meanwhile, for visiting Virginia Beach,
they come in just in an absolute free fall, losers of 7 in a row.
And this is where you turn to your best players and look at them and say, can you guide us out of this? We've got to be better than what we've shown.
On to get us started now, the kicker, Chris Boswell.
And they're off here in Louisville. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And they will be led out by a man in his sophomore campaign as the quarterback.
And there was a positive in last week's loss. No interceptions thrown by him. But he only threw one touchdown pass, and you know he wants that to improve. He might even consider that as part of the reason that they couldn't take the win last time out. I believe we'll see a more aggressive version of him this week whenever they're nearing the end zone.
And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down.
A check-in on the numbers last week for Robinson.
23 carries, 84 yards.
And I'm eager to see how they deploy him in this game. Last week, a heavy workload. Do they decide to bring that down a little bit and try and keep him fresh? Or do they say, guess what? He's locked in. Keep handing him the football.
He'll let this go deep for Waddle. And that nearly an interception here on this opening drive, but he gets a reprieve. It's third down. Here's O'Connell. Pass taken in by his big tight end.
And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Moore, the man in motion.
Now here's a fake on the jet sweep and a give to Robinson.
And he'll work this forward for about 3 at second down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
Call it a gain of 5 there on the run, but they'll remain a yard or 2 short here with third down coming up.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. Back to throw, O'Connell. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete.
And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
On 1st and 10, it's Robinson.
And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25.
43 yards rushing for him already. A terrific opening drive on the ground, and it's a first down.
You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation? We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
So they accept the penalty, of course, and push the offense backwards a bit.
So a little bit of a stiffer challenge now. 1st and 15 following the delay of game.
Now O'Connell.
And he's got the hook up to Moore. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. Add the gain here to the previous play, and it's better than 40 yards total.
A lot of precision being shown on this opening drive. They've been methodical, they've been crisp, and as a reward, they're going to be set up with an early 1st and goal.
That flag accepted, and it backs the offense up a little bit.
The delay of game, a costly one, as they're backed up 5 for 1st and goal.
Robinson on a give right side.
Fighting through. He's taken down at the 7 after a gain of 7. The impressive opening drive continues, and just space being created by those guys up front.
We're seeing this the same way, aren't we? We are seeing an offensive line, as this game gets started, as it starts to unfold, that they are dominating the line of scrimmage.
The offense knew it. They were already starting to walk back as that one is accepted.
Can't afford another delay here as they come up again on 2nd and goal. This is the tight end Fant. And he's got this inside the 10 to the 9 before he's out of bounds. Only 3 yards there on the completion. That'll lead to a 3rd and goal.
Here's O'Connell looking to throw it.
Just keeping the play alive. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. Only able to get back a yard for his efforts, and that leads us to 4th down.
And him running the football is not something that defenses spend a lot of time preparing for. But this guy has a survival instinct and a knack for knowing when exactly to do it.
Now Lutz for the field goal try. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. The kick by Lutz is good, and the opening drive of the game yields 3.
Well, they moved the ball well there on the opening series. Running game was in sync. They were knocking on the doorstep, but ultimately, Charles, they'll have to settle for the field goal.
Well, they certainly were moving it well, and give this defense a ton of credit. Finally dug their heels in and forced the field goal. That's wondered in his game partner. Will this offense look back at this drive and think to themselves, if we'd gotten 6, we'd be in a better spot.
So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. They will be led out by the Heisman Trophy winner from 2018, drafted #1 overall the subsequent year, Kyler Murray.
And the guys on the other side of the ball know they'll have to be on their toes. And it's obviously not just the passing, but the running element that makes him dangerous. He ran for over 100 yards in that game last week, so keeping him contained will be a big emphasis for this defense.
Murray flips his forward on the jet sweep.
Oh, and this one may need to go back to the drawing board. He's going to be swallowed up right away. Here now, 2nd and 9 from the 39-yard line.
On the counter, ETN. And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run a center.
Murray has it knocked loose. Fumble.
But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble. Offensively lucky there, able to keep the football, but now 4th down, so they'll have to boot it away.
I do think, though, they're going to look at this as a positive. 1, they recovered the fumble, so they retained possession. But 2, being able to punt it changes field position for them. Imagine if that turnover takes place there. Now your defense has to go onto the field and try and hold. Instead, they get a little breathing room.
Here's the punter, Martin, out to kick it away.
A 40-yard punt, give him 3 on the return.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The River Hogs offense, led by their running back, headed out for the 2nd possession. And they love to find different ways to get in the football. We know that. And you can see he comes into this week 2nd in the NFL in receiving yards out of the backfield.
They'll start out here with a jet sweep.
And that is not fooling anyone. He never had a chance to turn the corner there. And they'll go backwards right away. That's the danger, Charles, of running plays like this for your wide receiver. They can hit big or they can be duds.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that, because if they're forced to try and go around defenders behind the line of scrimmage, sometimes you can give yardage in order to gain it. But in this case, they gave yardage and didn't get it back.
So they'll get nothing out of that play, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12.
We'll see what they have drawn up here. A little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a first down.
Escaping the pressure right. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down.
I'm not sure he falls under the category of mobile quarterback, but he's athletic enough that if you don't keep your rush lanes intact, he finds a way to hurt you.
As coaches like to say, I wouldn't call him a burner, but enough there in the tank.
Now it's O'Connell.
Steps away to his left. And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard.
Straight ahead, it's Robinson.
Past the 20. 5. And he will take this one in for a touchdown.
Bijan Robinson with now 15 rushing touchdowns on the year,
as his guys are able to extend their lead.
Well, earlier in the week when they had their scouting report meeting, this was the explosiveness that they talked about trying to contain. They were concerned about it all week, yet he still did it to them. Wonder how that's going to carry over the rest of the game.
Lutz with the extra point, and the lead grows to 10-0. So that drive spanned 5 plays.
And it was Bijan Robinson who took it home with a touchdown run. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line.
Back onto the field comes this offense, ready for their 2nd drive. As we grind toward the end of the season here, and they haven't had the season that they had hoped. So let me ask you to play GM. Where might they look to make some changes?
I think when you look into the upcoming draft, think hard about them drafting multiple offensive linemen. They've got to get stouter up front. And as a GM always tells me, Charles, this is a big boy league, and big people.
Murray fighting, lost the football. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44.
Second time in this game, Charles, the ball has squirted out from his hands. Luckily, his teammate was there to pounce on it.
You're right. Got the lucky bounce, able to retain possession. You know, we often talk about the combine and why do we measure quarterbacks' hands. Is that really a big deal? It's for situations like this. Do you have...
And Murray in trouble here, and down he goes.
Samson Abuka in there to bring him down, and that is sack number 17 for him now on the year.
And this is what you've got to do against a quarterback like him. You've got to keep him in the pocket and not let him get to the perimeter, because once he gets outside, that's where he can really hurt you.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. And they'll send the tight end in motion here.
And they'll accept that penalty. Now Murray.
Under pressure again, and down he goes again.
More than one defender there, and that's a loss of 5 on the sack.
And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Man, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game. I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center.
10-0 the score after 1 on EA Sports. Ready for the second quarter, and it's our visitors with the football as they've got it with a 4th down coming up. So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. We'll call it a 42-yard punt, 3 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. The home team's offense and running back Bijan Robinson set to take over once more. And we give you a look there at the league leaders in receiving touchdowns. You can see he's second best amongst NFL running backs at this point in the season. To throw here, O'Connell. He's got his big tight end, Fant. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll leave him with a second and just a few inches left. Robinson up the middle. Through the middle of the field. Inside the 10. Touchdown! Bijan Robinson with touchdown number 20 on the year. And the River Hogs are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. And always a good first half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. I get some more. And he'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
Lutz good on the extra point. And that makes our score 17-0. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. And able to get this out to the 25. And here's the Virginia Beach offense out and ready to go again. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. They'll start on the ground. Etienne. They find some open field here. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. All told, it's an even 30 and a first down. Etienne once more. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. And now it looks like we're going to get a timeout here. We've got a man shaken up. Always unfortunate to see an injury, especially this close to the end of the regular season. We'll step aside. Murray now to throw. And that's complete to Etienne out of the backfield. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12. Murray now. Can't get away, and he's taken down. Multiple defenders getting to him there for a huge loss. So that now 4 first-half sacks. This pass rush has been unrelenting.
And, partner, you hear that sound of paper being ripped to shreds? That's the game plan that they've had so far because they've got to say to themselves right now, we have to do something differently.
On 4th down, here's Sam Martin on to kick it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Davis now to return it. A 7-yard return following a punt of 45 yards. And they will take over 1st and 10. The home team's offense and their running back getting ready to go back to work. And as a play caller, when you've got a guy who's running like this, you lean on him and your offensive line. He's had big hole after big hole to run through in this first half. This one complete to Jalen Waddle. Still going. Jalen Waddle. Touchdown! Jalen Waddle with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the River Hogs are able to widen their lead here in this first half. And sometimes those slants, they can be so tough to defend after the catch. It just happens so quickly.
And really, what gets set up there is how quickly everything happens. Ball's out of the hands of the passer in a hurry, and he just takes it and goes.
And he went all the way into the end zone. Lutz with the extra point, and a rout is on here in this first half. Those are the kind of drives they like on offense, from the coordinator to the quarterback, the line, everybody. One play drive and into the end zone for 6.
And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27.
And as this offense makes their way back out, it's AFC playoff race time as we give you a look.
Well, including this week, 3 weeks remain in the regular season, Charles, and it is going to be interesting to see how this playoff picture sorts itself out before we head into the postseason.
Competitive, entertaining postseason, that's what we're always striving for. But I think we get it during the regular season, too, because you never know how things are going to go during the final weeks of the season. Every team pulling out all the stops to get a better seed or just to get one of those 7 seats at the table.
From the gun, Murray.
And this will be well too low for him to bring in. It's incomplete.
He released that awkwardly. It almost looked like a pitcher who gripped his fastball a little too hard and let it go late, and it bounced in front of the plate.
Yeah, one of those fastballs that ends up at 57 feet, not 60 feet, 6 inches. Just a little short with the arm, which is unusual because we saw him in warm-ups. He's got a big, strong arm when he delivers it with confidence. Well, this first half has not gone according to plan so far offensively, or even defensively for that matter. They could use a big-time spark somewhere, but it's not going to come on this drive as they have to punt this one away.
Returnable here for Davis. 43 yards on the punt, 7-yard return.
This offense and their running back headed back onto the field. He's been a tough man to stop in this first half. He's putting up some big numbers already, and we have yet to reach halftime.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They start on the ground with Robinson here.
And he'll scratch out a yard up to the 30, and that's all.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
And O'Connell now to throw. That's going to be caught by Waddle.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
Fakes the handoff. Now O'Connell to throw.
No, bottled up. Fumble. It's out. It's loose.
Oh, and one of the linemen on the other side has got it.
And they will set up shop in enemy territory at the 42-yard line. The pocket collapsed around him. I know we talk about it a lot, but a QB has to have that sixth sense, doesn't he?
He really does, and I know of one team at one point was training their quarterback with that time frame, and anytime he didn't get rid of the ball within the right amount of time, they would blow a horn or blow a whistle to show him this is what that time is, just what you're talking about, training him to understand this is the amount you have, make sure the ball's gone. Didn't happen in this case.
On 1st and 10, it's Etienne.
And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. But not what you want to see this late in the season. Medical staff is going to check on him, and we'll step aside for a moment.
Shotgun now for Murray. He finds his man, complete. It's Ferguson. First target, first catch, and a 1st down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
He'll find Etienne out of the backfield.
And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and that will bring up 2nd down.
Etienne up the middle.
And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3.
That play reminded me a lot of a former teammate of mine. We used to call him the trash man. His ability to sift through traffic and make plays was uncanny.
And that's exactly what you want from your Mike linebacker. And he will have the 1st down across the 20 to the 19-yard line.
Toss left side for Etienne.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
Motion man is Shakir. And now Murray's going to set up to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Oh, and one of the linemen on the other side has got it.
And they will take over at the 29-yard line.
Every week we hear talk about create turnovers. In particular, they wanted to force some fumbles. They got one right there.
And it shows you how the game has changed over time. It used to be good enough for a guy to get a sack of a quarterback in the pocket. Now, if you come to the sidelines and you didn't knock the ball free, your coaches are upset with you. All right? So if you're a quarterback, it starts all the way back in the youth leagues. Take care of the ball, take care of the ball, take care of the ball, because here come the defenders.
Following the fumble recovery, O'Connell.
He's got the connection to Moore.
They'll give him 4 yards there, and it'll be second down.
O'Connell working from the gun. That's brought in downfield by London. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. That one covers 29 yards, first down.
Let's just call it what it is. This has been a flat-out struggle for this defense all game long. They've really had a hard time slowing them down. And while I'm not big on speeches and guys jumping up and down, they might need their team leader on defense to get in their face right now and light a fire under these guys. They've got to start playing better assignment football and start getting guys on the ground.
And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
And that's where you're counting on a receiver's size being an advantage. They were hoping he could go over the top of a smaller DB and haul that one in. A good thought, but that time it didn't work out.
Now, during that run, an injury here. We got one of those big blockers in some discomfort. Always unfortunate to see an injury, especially this close to the end of the regular season. We'll step aside.
The offense on third down tonight, they've been good. 3 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. And time finally runs out. He can't get rid of the football, and he's taken down.
Will McDonald, his 2nd sack of the night.
Well, we knew this guy wasn't especially fleet of foot, but he tried to conjure up some escapability, but there was no way he was getting away on that one.
Here's Thomas Morstead on now to punt it away on 4th down. And last week in the loss, 5 punts as he gets this one away. This one angles out of bounds at a good spot in the coffin corner. And they're going to mark this out of the 5-yard line.
Well, the Virginia Beach offense set to take over. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
And a short pickup here as he'll get across the 10 to the 11-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting 3rd and about 4 to go.
Second quarter action with 1:59 remaining.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. He finds his man, complete. That's Ferguson. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here's Murray.
Now he fires deep for Shakir.
And it's knocked away and incomplete.
I believe I'm following their logic. Take the big shot downfield, loosen things up. You're hoping to get some points on the board before the half. Maybe now you come back and throw some underneath stuff in order to make sure you get a completion.
To throw is Murray. That's to the former Bronco, Jerry Jeudy.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. 23 yards on the tuck and run. Out of the gun, here's Murray. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. Here's Murray. Eluding the pressure right. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. Now the offense will burn their third and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. Throwing now is Murray. Flush to his right. And he is going to go down. Back at the 11-yard line. The sack cost him only a yard. It's 2nd and 11. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17. As we send you to our EA studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone, to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Let's get you caught up on what's going on around the NFL. We'll begin out in the windy city of Chicago, and that's been a back-and-forth game, all tied in the second quarter. From there, we're off to check out another game. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. It was the former Longhorn, Bijan Robinson, who was tough to stop in that first half. He's over 100 yards rushing for the game already and found the end zone twice as well. This was an extremely one-sided first half. One team showed up ready to go. The other's been in a daze thus far, but there's still plenty of time left for this one to tighten up significantly.
All right, Coach, thank you very much as we welcome you back for quarter number 3.
So after a very one-sided first half, what will the second half bring as we are back underway on EA Sports?
And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. And here's the Virginia Beach offense out and ready to go again. And they have had their problems moving the ball through the air as we take you through some of the action from earlier. This secondary has played about as well as you can. Many times they've left this quarterback with nowhere to go with the football.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive.
We'll see, Charles, if they had a chance to hit the reset button at halftime. They have not scored. They're facing this big deficit. And if they're going to come back, it's going to have to start right now.
Yeah, and for them, it's not dwelling in the negative because, yes, they were totally ineffective in the first half. But we've seen many games that have flipped around in the second half. It all starts with this drive right here. They get something good going, put some points on the board, they begin to have hope.
Motion man is Shakir. On second down, Etienne once more.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He lost 4 there, and it's third down.
But if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
From the gun on third down, Murray. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up fourth down.
And there's another stop. One of the league's best defenses is certainly bringing it again this week.
Now on fourth down, on is the punt team sending this one away. Fielded at about the 28. It'll be a 41-yard punt. Give them 5 on the return.
This offense making its way back out, led by their running back. And he's been one of the most consistent pieces of their offense all year long, no doubt. Shouldn't be much of a surprise then to see him among the league leaders in rushing here late in the season. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And he's got his big tight end here. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. Handoff now to Robinson. And he finds a little bit of room, enough for 4 yards. It'll be second down.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
To the sideline. Wow, what a catch. Doesn't get a lot out of it, but he is able to keep the feet in bounds.
Now they need 2. Here's third down. Throwing, O'Connell. He's got his target. That's complete.
And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. 15 yards there on the catch and run.
That's another beautiful throw right there. It gets it to his man right in stride. And I think that throw kind of exemplifies what we've seen from this offense throughout this game. They've been in rhythm. They've been sharp. They've been on it. And they pick up another first down there.
Here's O'Connell. That's caught. Waddle on the left side.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down.
So first and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. Another catch there for Waddle.
This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, second and 2.
Now a second and 2. On the give, here's Robinson.
And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. It's a 3-yard pickup, and that sets up first and goal.
Back to throw, O'Connell.
And it's incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up, not that time.
Now O'Connell.
This will be caught at about the 5. And from the 9, they get this to the 5-yard line.
A chance to really put this game out of reach. Here's third and goal. Here's O'Connell looking to throw it.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
Oh, and one of the linemen on the other side has got it.
And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, give some credit to the defense. They forced the big play, knocked the ball free from him, but it's a cardinal sin by the quarterback. Know where you are on the field, and he just gave up at a minimum 3 points.
Instead of getting down, takes the contact. The turnover ensues.
And here's the Virginia Beach offense out and ready to go again. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for first and 10.
And they'll bring Judy in motion right. And they're going to give it to him on the jet sweep. And some solid footwork there as he'll take this down to about the 38. 66 yards rushing for him here as he starts to close in now on 1,200 yards for the season.
Now Murray. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
Samson Abukum
able to drop him that time for his second sack of the evening. Now following the sack, they'll come up here on a second down and 12. To throw, it's Murray. A nice job there on the escape and scramble. A first down, a 16-yard gain. snap comes to Murray at 1. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
It sort of looks like they still have some fight in them on this series because it seemed like things were headed for the red zone. But if this defense gets 2 more stops, they can keep them out of that area.
Now Murray off play action. And his throw here's incomplete.
What will look like a march to the end zone has hit a momentary roadblock with that incompletion. No need to panic. They just got to come up with a high percentage play call and see if they can get their offense back on track.
And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Credit good coverage there in the pass breakup to Pat Surtain.
Well, he's smart enough to avoid the taunting rule, but I'll guarantee he quietly has told them, you might want to stop coming after me downfield because I just broke up another pass and took away a big shot that you were trying to succeed with.
Well, certainly happy they were able to force the fumble, Charles, but wish they would have gotten in the end zone, only getting 3 points there and still facing this second half deficit.
And they also will understand it's going to be a whole lot tougher to force another turnover the rest of the game because that offense, they're going to be all about ball security from here on out.
And a nice return sets them up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal and they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive? A little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown, but they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach would be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield and punch in the end zone without turning it over.
O'Connell from the gun on 3rd down.
And he can't escape, and down he goes.
Will McDonald bringing the pressure yet again. That's his 3rd sack here tonight.
Well, this has to count as a great team effort today, but this man, he's been at the center of all of it. Really special day for any defense to have this many sacks in a game, even more so for this player. One of the best individual efforts of the season.
Here's Thomas Morstead now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Crowder now to return. It's a 45-yard punt, then 8 on the return.
Well, the Virginia Beach offense set to take over.
And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6.
From the 48-yard line, here's 2nd and a couple. And Murray in trouble here, and down he goes. Chase Young, his 2nd sack of the night. And keep in mind, in addition to the 2 sacks that he now has, CD, he's also had a couple of quarterback hurries. He's been very disruptive.
To put it mildly, and it reminds me of the time I asked an offensive tackle who struggled like this in a game. He said he was telling the coach, hey, what do you want me to do? This guy's just eating me alive. And the coach finally just looked at him and said, applaud.
That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
I'm sure this isn't a novel thought, but maybe run some simpler routes instead of trying to get it all back in one shot. Defense certainly appears to be ready for him. Try and get it back little by little instead of in big chunks.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. Now this is going to work out well as it's out of bounds near the 13-yard line.
So now out comes this offense led by their quarterback as they take over once more. And he had it going in the first half, that's for sure. He's really had his way with his secondary. They've been powerless to stop him, and he'll look to keep it rolling right here.
Now a handoff to start it out. Robinson.
Taken down that time by Felix Anudike-Uzomah.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
They had 3 yards on first down, just 1 yard there. 1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now here on EA Sports. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4.
Now it's O'Connell.
In trouble, and he's taken down.
Micah Parsons showing off that elite athleticism as he gets the sack.
Coming off the line, he's been wreaking havoc all year. And look, that's why, as a result, he's getting some looks for Defensive Player of the Year in the NFL.
And I know that many people don't have him first on their list right now, but he deserves that type of consideration. You mentioned it. All year long, he's made big plays and continues to do so. Imagine if he has a big game here. If so, he could vault himself right into the #1 spot.
It's a return of 5 following a punt of 42 yards. And this offense takes over in great shape right at the 50, 1st and 10.
Here's Murray from midfield. Got it complete to Khalil Shakir.
And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. That one good for 16 as the drive continues.
A 3-score game here late. You can probably rule out the comeback, but certainly some kind of a moral victory to be had if they can get a few more points to close things out. And to that end, a nice pass play there to push things downfield.
Yeah, and we know in this league, a loss is a loss, and no one wants anything to count as a moral victory or, boy, something that feels a little bit cheap. But if they trim that lead down to just 2 scores, that's still a benefit to this squad.
2nd and 10.
Here's Murray as he sets to throw it.
And that almost their first INT of the ball game. Had his sights on it, but he couldn't seal the deal.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, not so hot. 2 for 9 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. Buying time to his left.
And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down.
And that is a historic run for him, partner. With that pickup, he just broke Lamar Jackson's 2019 record for most yards in a season by a quarterback. No one has done it better across a 16 or 17-game schedule. Now his name will be forever linked with the best runners to ever play at that position.
No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th.
So this offense able to convert on 4th, and now a fresh set of downs here, 1st and 10.
And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
Murray now to throw. Open man, he completes it to Judy.
And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9.
And now following the completion, we're going to get a stoppage here for an injury. But not what you want to see this late in the season. Medical staff is going to check on him, and we'll step aside for a moment. And they'll run with ETN.
And they get him down at the 1. He had the broken tackle, but ultimately could not get into the end zone.
75 yards rushing for him now to this point. Motion man is Shakir.
They'll try and power it home here with a fullback Johnson. And he is into the end zone for a touchdown. Taking it in from a yard out.
And the Dreadnoughts are finally into the end zone here in this 4th quarter. So a little bit of a letdown there defensively. I mean, look, you're still 2 scores to the good, CD, but things may be a little more uncomfortable than they had hoped.
Yeah, if you'd kept him out of the end zone there, this game's over. You've locked the door on him. Instead, it's still open a little bit, and they've got a puncher's chance.
Extra point put through by Boswell, and that cuts the lead to 24-10. So that drive consumes 9 plays all told, and it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run.
And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line. This offense headed back out, captained, of course, by their quarterback. And this defense has got to be at its wits' end, trying to come up with ways to keep him contained. He's had so many opportunities to tuck it and go, and he's turned a number of those opportunities into big plays.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
Oh, one of the linebackers has got it.
And they'll be at the 18-yard line. Great field position here in the red zone.
Partner, that one looked like it was over. I mean, they had control, had the football, and the defense had to make a play in order to keep them in the game. That's exactly what they did.
And now that door ajar, 2-score game, so hold on here. Not done in the 4th.
Well, the Virginia Beach offense set to take over. They trail by 2 scores in the 4th, and their defense did its job getting the fumble recovery. Now, time to see what this offense has left in the tank.
Here's a give to the fullback. That's Johnson. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Running out of the gun with ETN.
And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. Call it a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a 3rd and about 4.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down.
And the tight end goes in motion left. Murray going to throw. Touchdown!
Khalil Shakir.
A 12-yard touchdown grab.
And the Dreadnoughts have made it a 1-score game again here in the 4th.
So very late in the game here, but with that score, some light at the end of the tunnel.
There's still hope. Now they look at the score and say, hold on a second. This thing's not over yet. Let's keep battling.
Extra point now by Boswell. He's got it, and it's 24-17. The drive there only spanning 3 plays.
And it was all polished off with a Khalil Shakir touchdown catch.
Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown.
And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They've been asleep for a little while on this side of the football, Charles, and the score is just a 1-score game now. Haven't had any points this taking it right down Broadway. And touchdown! Jalen Waddle, his 2nd touchdown of the night. And the River Hogs look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here in this 4th quarter.
Well, that is certainly a deflator right there defensively. Their guys just came off of a touchdown drive. They're back in the game, and then bam, they give up a touchdown 1 play later. How about that?
And the momentum, which seemingly had shifted the other direction, thought we might be seeing a comeback. That momentum right back the other way.
Well, that is certainly not complimentary football that we saw right there. The defense is supposed to help their offense, not give up another touchdown.
Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick.
And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The Dreadnoughts offense and Kyler Murray headed back out onto the field. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game planned for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
They'll roll him out right. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a first down. Murray now. And that is incomplete.
Well, they've been back on their heels a little bit here in this drive, but a chance to exhale just a little bit there with incompletion on first down. Now they have to gear up, try and get 2 more stops, and escape this drive.
Play action. Now it's Murray. And now it looks like we're going to get a timeout here. We've got a man shaken up. Always unfortunate to see an injury, especially this close to the end of the regular season. We'll step aside. A give to Etienne running right. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6. From the 20, here's a 2nd and 4. Looking to throw. Murray. On the catch, it's Crowder. And he gets into the end zone for the touchdown. Jamison Crowder. His first touchdown on the year. And the Dreadnoughts have got it back to within a score. So how about that for an answer? They get the touchdown there, and it's back to a 1-score game here in the 4th.
And that's what these guys have done all game long because they've scratched and slashed their way to stay in this game. And by now, we should all realize they're not going away. Now the pressure again swings to their defense because they're going to need to find some way to get the ball back.
Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown.
And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. Things sure were looking good for them at the half. Heck, off the air, you and I were just saying they might run away with this thing and cruise to a victory. Not anymore.
Yeah, the cruise control has to be off at this point. Now you've got to mash the gas yourself. Again, who's going to step up and make a big play for you? Who's going to take care of business now that you're being pressed? It is definitely go time for them at this moment.
All of a sudden clinging to a slim lead and hoping to hold on to that lead. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. Robinson will try to pick it up. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there. And on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing, in a situation when they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously, but at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well.
Robinson with another carry. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. As big of a play as we've had in this one so far. This is 3rd and 3. To throw here, O'Connell.
And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up 4th down.
From a defensive perspective, they had exactly what you want anytime they want to throw the football. There was pressure on the quarterback. They were getting after him, and they tightened down on the receivers and forced the incompletion.
And this is going to be ruled out, I think, just inside the 20. Yes, it will. Side judge calls it at the 19-yard line.
Well, the Virginia Beach offense set to take over. And it feels like the momentum has shifted. They scored, then their defense forces that last punt. And now a chance to tie the game on this possession.
Airing one out for Crowder. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Trying to get a big strike right there and hopefully tie this game up to the late going. But the coverage was there, and this winds up incomplete.
Here's Murray. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Nice back-to-back plays defensively. They're stacking momentum now. 1 incompletion, 2 incompletion. They're going for more.
They'll motion the tight end across the formation. To throw is Murray. Forced out. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. They bring a man off the corner that time, and he gets home for a loss of 6. Here's Sam Martin now, standing about a yard deep in his own end zone. It's a 39-yard punt, 3 on the return.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. Their defense got the stop, forced the punt, and now you really start to monitor the clock as they nurse this slim lead.
And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line.
From the 47 now, they'll work with a 2nd and 7.
4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So it's our home team here in possession of the football as we come back. They've got a 2nd down now as they search for a way to get this one to the finish line. And they'll get this just to the 47, 1-yard gain. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ball game.
And O'Connell now to throw.
They still can't get it. That he won't quite make it. He needed 6. He got about 5. 4th down. Here's Thomas Morstead now as he'll come on for his 5th kick of the night. And this will be out of bounds, and they spot it at the 15-yard line. Not too bad. The situation for them offensively as follows. Down by 7, a little over a minute and a half remaining. Now their losing streak in danger of continuing as they come up on 1st down.
They'll get this out to the flat for ETN.
And able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds.
Now 2nd and 4.
To throw is Murray.
Pass caught by Crowder.
And they're able to get this one across the 35.
Just the 1 timeout remaining as they try to navigate this 2-minute drill. 1st and 10.
And he maybe makes it back to the line of scrimmage. That's it.
Here comes 2nd down.
Murray to throw. This one caught by Crowder.
Oh, what a nice tackle there. That will hardly move the needle at all offensively. A very short gain.
Back to throw. Murray. Now a desperation throw deep downfield.
And this nearly intercepted. Probably should have been. Had he caught it, it would have sealed it. Instead, one more chance coming up on 4th down.
Now Murray's got to have this one. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. And Charles, in this one, the fourth quarter became a lot more interesting, I know, than I anticipated. Probably you anticipated. A comeback bid falling just a little bit short.
You're never supposed to count a team out, and I know we didn't on air, but mentally, I just didn't see this type of a comeback, especially one that put them in a position to put the real pressure on them down the stretch.
So for Louisville, they moved to 9-7 on the year with one game remaining.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. Good night, everybody.